Well, it's Amazon Prime Big Deal Day, and I checked if there was any big deals on PC hardware, and I did make a community post. But then I was like, you know what? It'll increase visibility, and I think more people will see it if I go ahead and make the video. So the top 5 deals I found on PC hardware was I'm gonna start with the 4080. Although this isn't really any particular order on what's the best deal. Kind of depends on what's in your budget and what you are looking for. We did see some GPUs. Here we're seeing the RTX 4080 finally dropping below $1,000. It has been extremely rare for that to happen. It came out with a $1,200 MSRP. More recently, it's been available around $1,100, but now we are seeing this deal here for $990. Now, also, just don't always assume that Amazon Prime Day deals are good deals or that they're actually coming down from the list price that they show here. One way to check is there's pricing history available at places like Camel. So if you do pull up the pricing history of this particular model, we do see that there was one day back in August where it looks like it hit the $1,000 price point. But it has been significantly above that and again has been hovering around $1,100 for quite a while now. Also, the weird thing with shopping for GPUs is if you check the pricing history, it's checking the pricing history of that one model, not just 4080s in general. And so I just decided to take a quick look at, PC Part Picker, which surveys a bunch of stores, not just Amazon. And it shows right now that it is still around $1,100 for the vast majority of RTX 4080s and going up from there. So this certainly does seem to be the lowest price that's been available for a while now on a 4080. And there was rumors in my last video of maybe a 4080 Ti coming out next year that could maybe push down the price of this. We'll have to see. But anyway, that doesn't mean this is necessarily something everybody can just run out and buy. A lot of people are going to be looking at a lower price point. So lower price point GPUs, we do have the RX 6700 XT coming down to $299.99. This is not the first time I've seen this price, but that is the lowest price I have seen, and it has been a while since I've seen it. Usually this GPU hangs out closer to $320, at which point it's a good deal, but at $300, I think it's a great deal. Although I don't think the Power Color Fighter is the, biggest, beefiest, cooler model or anything like that. This is a 12 gigabyte graphics card and has a lot of power compared to something like the RTX 4060, which is an 8 gigabyte card and is just less powerful overall, even if you're not spilling over VRAM capacity. So this could certainly be interesting for people. I checked the pricing history on this particular model, and sure enough, lately it's been hanging out around $320. For a while now, and was significantly more expensive than that for a while. That's the Power Color Fighter model on Amazon. If you check 6700 XTs in general, like I said, the vast majority of them are $320 or more, $330, $335. Looks like the Sapphire Pulse is available down as low as $310 right now, so that would be another one to consider within a similar price range. But yeah, it looks like I am able to confirm that this is a better than usual deal here on the 6700 XT. And again, at $300, I think this is the standout graphics card. Now, if you do have a little bit more money, the RX 6800 at $399.99 comes in with 16 gigabytes of VRAM as well as a lot of gaming performance. I recently re-reviewed this up against the 7700 XT from AMD, which is one of their newest graphics cards. The 7700 XT, launching at $450, has very similar performance to this, but only has 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And I did see in at least one game, The Last of Us Part 1 at 1440p Ultra, at settings where they could get reasonable frame rates, the extra VRAM was paying off already, and VRAM usage in games does tend to go up over time. The newer GPUs will have, newer features, AV1 encoders, things like that. However, at $399.99, this is a heck of a deal. I did check the pricing history on this model, and $399.99 is listed as the lowest price that this model has hit on Amazon. And I did go ahead and also check out what could I get a 6800 for from other retailers. And this model is showing up as the lowest price at $399.99. Seeing some other models available like at $420, but I believe that's not even as good of a cooler as the Swift 319, although the Swift 319 is pretty long, so make sure it can fit in your case. And again, 430, 475, 490. This does certainly seem like a good deal here. And like I said, the closest competition in a newer generation of GPU is the 7700 XT, which is coming in at 430, 440, 450. And again, has less VRAM. It does have that AV1 encoder, and I guess AMD's new Anti-Lag Plus is at least currently a 7000 series only feature, although I'm curious if that will come to the 6000 series. From NVIDIA's competition, it would be like the 4060 Ti at 370, but that's the 8GB model, and it is noticeably less powerful than the 6800 and has half the VRAM. The 4060 Ti does offer a 16GB model at $430, so that's $30 more expensive than the 6800. It has the same amount of VRAM and less gaming performance, although you do get access to, NVIDIA's upscaler and things like that. But honestly, the 6800 is just a significantly stronger graphics card. So anyway, that's that one. Let's take a look at what I had up next. So while this isn't technically PC hardware, I think a lot of people can elevate their PC gaming experience with good audio. It honestly crushes me when I see people with a nice PC and a low-end headset, speakers, or monitor. It's like, man, you invested all that in the parts. Like having good audio can make a massive difference. Now, I don't have the Sennheiser HD599 SE myself, but I have heard good things about it, especially at this price. At just under $80, I did once again check out the pricing history, and it looks like this does hit below $100 frequently, but it does look like $80, $79.95 is the lowest price it has ever hit, at least according to this Amazon pricing history at Camel, and that it does generally bounce around prices higher than this. So this does seem to actually be a good deal here. And like I said, haven't tried these headphones myself, but have heard good things. And it makes a massive difference having good audio when you're playing your games, for both competitive games and single-player games. Like, I can tell you how many times I've heard footsteps in a competitive game, and it actually helped out. But then the other thing, like I said, is the... sorry, actually, I was going to get to a monitor deal, but that one's not Amazon, so we'll do this one first. So memory prices have been low for a long time, including SSDs. However, we are seeing articles like this at Tom's Hardware 2 days ago saying memory prices rebound due to reduced production, increasing demand. Taiwanese memory and SSD suppliers are optimistic about Q4 following great Q3 results. What this could mean to the consumer is that these extremely low SSD prices have probably bottomed out and could start going back up. Now, we can't actually predict the future, but that is certainly possible. So grabbing a fast 2 terabyte NVMe Gen 4 SSD, this is a very fast one, for $100 is a pretty good price. And I mean, I remember paying way over $100 for a 1 terabyte Gen 4 SSD a year ago. So did want to throw that one in here. There were some other SSD deals, but I went ahead and highlighted this one. Now, last thing I want to get to is don't always assume the best deals on Prime Day are on Amazon. A lot of times competing retailers will offer something, and that's what I'm seeing right here with this. So the monitor I'm actually using while I film this video right now is literally this monitor. So this one I can tell you personal experience on. This is the Alienware AW3423DWF. This is their 34-inch ultra-wide QD OLED. This is the F version, which is compatible with FreeSync, and is actually able to get the firmware updates, which the I believe the non-F version of this, which is the G-Sync module. By the way, this is G-Sync compatible, and then also FreeSync. It just doesn't have the G-Sync module. The G-Sync version of the monitor does, which makes that monitor more expensive and also not able to get firmware updates. This one has had several firmware updates, which have significantly helped out a few issues I had originally with its HDR performance and compatibility. The firmware updates have helped out significantly with that. And honestly, I've found myself gaming on this a bit more than my 4K LG OLED I have right next to me over there. I'm a big fan of OLED monitors. Do be aware if you're buying OLED that there is the potential for burn-in and image retention. Mine get stressed out pretty bad, and while I have had image retention from when I'm like editing a video for a long time and the same files are up for a long time, and then you go to like a light gray screen, I'm like, I can see some of that, the image kind of burned in afterwards. That was retention, not burn-in, and if you go through a monitor refresh cycle, it's always been able to take care of it for me. But again, that is something to keep in mind. I believe, and you might want to double check on this, at least when I purchased it, Dell was offering a 3-year burn-in warranty, I believe, on this one, which would be helpful. And a lot of other OLED screens and sellers don't offer that same warranty, but double check that's still available. Anyway, so this was I paid over $1,000 for this, I think, when I bought it. So this is down quite a bit lower than that. Hopefully you guys found some of these deals interesting and or useful. If I do manage to see anything else, check my community page. I may do some updated posts, but this is what I was able to find before work in the morning. And speaking of which, I really need to end this video, get my kids up ready for school, and get myself ready to teach. So I hope all of you have an excellent day.